Welcome to Biography with Plutarch, where we delve into the lives of extraordinary individuals, seeking to understand the intricacies of their character and the events that shape them. Today, we embark on a fascinating journey through the life of Elizabeth Barrett Browning, one of the most celebrated poets of the Victorian era. Born in 1806 in County Durham, England, Elizabeth's early years laid the foundation for her remarkable literary talent and her unwavering passion for life. As we step into the world of Elizabeth Barrett Browning's childhood, we find ourselves in the midst of a picturesque English countryside, where the rolling hills and verdant valleys seem to whisper tales of their own. Her birthplace, Kellow Hall, was a charming estate nestled in the heart of County Durham, its stone facade weathered to a warm golden brown from generations of Barrett family history. The air is alive with the sweet scent of blooming wildflowers and the gentle rustle of leaves as the wind whispers through the trees. It is here, surrounded by the soothing rhythms of nature, that Elizabeth's love affair with life began. Elizabeth was the eldest of 12 children born to Edward Barrett Moulton, Barrett and Mary Graham Clark, a family whose roots ran deep in the English soil. Her father, a wealthy landowner with Jamaican plantations, provided a comfortable and nurturing environment for his children to grow and thrive. The Barrett household was a vibrant tapestry of laughter, tears, and imagination, where creativity and curiosity were encouraged, and the boundaries between reality and fantasy blurred. Elizabeth's childhood was marked by a deep love for nature, literature, and music, a trifecta of passions that would remain with her throughout her life. The Barrett family encouraged their children's intellectual pursuits, fostering an atmosphere of curiosity and creativity that permeated every aspect of their lives. Elizabeth's mother, in particular, played a significant role in cultivating her daughter's early interest in poetry and the arts. She would often read to Elizabeth from the works of great authors, Shakespeare, Milton, and Wordsworth, instilling in her a profound appreciation for the written word and the magic it held. As they sat together by the fireside, the flickering flames casting shadows on the walls, Elizabeth's mother would bring the characters and stories to life, transporting her daughter to far-off lands and fantastical worlds. As Elizabeth grew, her family relocated to Hope End, a grand estate in Herefordshire, where she spent most of her formative years. This idyllic setting, surrounded by lush forests and winding rivers, would later become a staple of her poetic inspiration, a place where the beauty of nature and the turmoil of human experience intertwined like the branches of an ancient tree. The Barrett children were known to be lively and imaginative, often engaging in theatrical performances, writing stories, and composing music together. They would spend hours exploring the woods, collecting wildflowers, and chasing after butterflies, their laughter echoing through the trees as they reveled in the simple joys of childhood. Elizabeth's early writings, though largely lost to time, demonstrate a precocious talent for poetry, with themes of love, nature, and social justice already beginning to emerge like the first tender shoots of spring. Her words, penned in a flowing script on scraps of paper, reveal a deep empathy for the world around her, a world she saw as full of wonder, yet also fraught with inequality and injustice. The historical context of Elizabeth's early years was marked by significant social and cultural change, an era of upheaval and transformation that would shape the course of English history. The Industrial Revolution was transforming the English landscape as urbanization and technological advancements reshaped the nation like a master craftsman reshaping clay. Meanwhile, the literary world was abuzz with the works of romantic poets like Wordsworth, Coleridge, and Byron, whose emphasis on emotion, beauty, and individualism would greatly influence Elizabeth's own writing style, a style that would come to be characterized by its passion, sensitivity, and unwavering commitment to social justice. Within this dynamic environment, Elizabeth's family played a crucial role in shaping her values and worldview. Her father, though often strict and demanding, encouraged his children to think critically and engage with the world around them, to question authority, challenge convention, and seek out knowledge like thirsty travelers seeking an oasis in the desert. The Barrett family was also deeply committed to their Christian faith, which would later become a source of both comfort and conflict for Elizabeth, as she navigated her own spiritual journey, a journey marked by moments of profound doubt, yet ultimately guided by a deep sense of compassion and empathy. The seeds of her literary genius were sown in these formative years, nurtured by a loving family, a rich cultural heritage, and an insatiable curiosity about the world. We witnessed the first whispers of her poetic voice, like the gentle lapping of waves against the shore, a voice that would one day speak to generations, offering a message of hope, love, and redemption in a world often torn apart by conflict and division. As Elizabeth Barrett Browning entered her adult years, her literary talents continued to flourish, nurtured by an insatiable passion for learning and a deepening engagement with the world around her. The year 1820 marked a significant milestone in her journey as a writer when, at the tender age of 14, she published her first collection of poems, The Battle of Marathon. Although this early work was largely overlooked by critics at the time, it demonstrates a precocious mastery of form and a keen sense of historical narrative. The poems within this collection already hint at the themes of social justice and personal freedom that would come to characterize her later writing as she began to grapple with the complexities of the human experience. As Elizabeth delved deeper into the world of literature, her health began to decline, plagued by a mysterious illness that would afflict her for much of her life. The symptoms were debilitating, leaving her often bedridden and reliant on laudanum for relief. Her bedroom became her sanctuary, where she would spend hours devouring the works of Shakespeare, Milton, and other literary giants. The words of these masters danced across her pages, igniting a fire within her that would fuel her creative drive. Despite the physical limitations imposed by her illness, Elizabeth's intellectual curiosity only intensified as she engaged with contemporary writers such as Wordsworth and Coleridge. Her own writing continued to evolve, as evidenced by the publication in 1833 of The Seraphim and Other Poems, a collection that showcases her growing technical skill and emotional depth. It was during this period that Elizabeth began to establish herself within London's literary circles, forming friendships with notable figures such as Mary Russell Mitford and Samuel Taylor Coleridge. These relationships not only provided her with intellectual stimulation, but also offered a sense of belonging and validation, crucial for an artist struggling to find her place in the world. As she navigated these social connections, Elizabeth found herself drawn into debates about the role of women in society, the abolition of slavery, and other pressing issues of the day. The salons and gatherings she attended were abuzz with conversation, as writers, thinkers, and activists came together to discuss the burning questions of their time. These interactions would later become central themes in her poetry, as she sought to give voice to the marginalized and oppressed. In 1844, Elizabeth's collection Poems was published, earning her widespread critical acclaim and establishing her as a major literary voice. The poems within this volume, such as The Runaway Slave at Pilgrim's Point, demonstrate a heightened sense of social conscience as she confronts the brutal realities of slavery and oppression with unflinching candor. This work not only solidified her reputation as a poet, but also marked a significant turning point in her personal life as she began to correspond with Robert Browning, a fellow poet who would soon become her husband. Their letters, exchanged over several months, reveal a deepening emotional connection as they shared their thoughts on literature, art, and the human condition. Their courtship, conducted largely through letters, was a romance of the mind, with both parties engaging in intense intellectual and artistic discussions that fueled their passion for each other. As Elizabeth wrote to Robert, "I look at the stars, and they whisper to me, 'You are not alone.'" This sense of cosmic connection, of being part of something greater than herself, would become a hallmark of her later poetry as she explored the intersections of love, nature, and the divine. The words flowed effortlessly from her pen as she poured out her heart to Robert, sharing her deepest fears, desires, and aspirations. In 1846, Elizabeth and Robert eloped, marrying in secret due to her family's disapproval. This union marked the beginning of a deeply fulfilling partnership, both personally and creatively, as the couple embarked on a life of mutual support and artistic collaboration. Together, they would face numerous challenges, including financial struggles and personal losses, yet their love for each other remained a constant source of inspiration. The early years of their marriage were marked by a sense of joy and wonder as they explored the city, attended concerts, and engaged in lively debates about art and literature. It was during this period that Elizabeth wrote some of her most beloved poems, including the sonnets that would later be published in 1850 as Sonnets from the Portuguese. These poems offer an intimate glimpse into the inner life of a remarkable woman, as she seeks to articulate the ineffable mysteries of the heart. As Elizabeth wrote, "How do I love thee? Let me count the ways." This question, posed with such simplicity and sincerity, speaks to the profound depths of human emotion as she explores the complexities of love, desire, and devotion. Her words invite us to reflect on our own experiences, to explore the depths of our own emotions, and to seek connection with others in a world that often seems fragmented and divided. As Elizabeth Barrett Browning's life unfolded like a rich tapestry, she continued to produce remarkable works, solidifying her position as a leading literary figure of her time. The 1850s saw the publication of Aurora Leigh, a novel in verse that explored themes of love, identity, and social justice with unflinching candor. This ambitious work showcased her mastery of language and form, as she wove together elements of poetry, drama, and prose to create a unique narrative voice that was both deeply personal and universally relatable. Her writing remained infused with a deep sense of compassion and empathy, as she sought to give voice to the marginalized and oppressed, her words echoing through the corridors of time like a beacon of hope. In the later years of her life, her health began to decline, and she suffered from a range of ailments, including respiratory problems and chronic pain that left her breathless and fatigued. Despite these challenges, she continued to write, driven by a fierce creative spirit and a desire to leave a lasting legacy that would transcend the boundaries of time and mortality. Her husband, Robert, remained her closest companion and supporter, and together they navigated the complexities of life as a literary couple, their love and devotion to each other, a source of inspiration and strength. Their home in Florence, Italy, became a sanctuary for Elizabeth, a place where she could escape the pressures of her illness and find solace in her writing. The city's vibrant culture and stunning landscapes inspired her, and she found herself drawn to the beauty and history that surrounded her. As she sat at her desk, quill in hand, she would gaze out the window at the terracotta rooftops and the Arno River, feeling the weight of her own mortality, yet determined to leave an indelible mark on the literary world. In 1861, Elizabeth Barrett Browning passed away in Florence, Italy, surrounded by her beloved husband and friends who wept and mourned the loss of a brilliant mind and a beautiful soul. Her death was met with an outpouring of tributes and condolences from across the literary world, as writers and thinkers came together to celebrate her remarkable life and work. As Robert Browning wrote in a letter to a friend, "She was the truest, noblest, and most loving of women, and I am left alone with the memories of our life together and the weight of her absence, which feels like a physical pain that cannot be alleviated." Today, Elizabeth Barrett Browning is remembered as one of the greatest poets of the Victorian era, a trailblazer who paved the way for future generations of women writers. Her work continues to inspire and influence readers around the world, offering a powerful testament to the transformative power of love, art, and the human spirit. Her poetry, with its themes of love, social justice, and personal freedom, remains a powerful antidote to the cynicism and disillusionment that can characterize modern life. And yet, even in the face of such challenges, Elizabeth's work reminds us of the possibility for transcendence and connection through the power of art and imagination. Her poetry invites us to slow down, to look around us, and to appreciate the beauty and wonder that surrounds us, to rediscover our place in the world and our connection to something greater than ourselves. Her place in history is secure, as a pioneering figure who helped shape the literary landscape of her time and whose influence can still be felt today. And so, as we bid farewell to this remarkable woman, we carry her words and her spirit with us into our own lives and into the world, where they will continue to shine like a beacon, guiding us towards a brighter, more compassionate, and more beautiful future. That's all for today's biography with Plutarch. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, remember that understanding the lives of remarkable individuals helps us better understand ourselves.